if you guys know, I went yesterday 4-1 of my locals, playing ODION Fiendsmith. I think this deck is actually pretty nice. I really like the gameplay of the deck. I'm missing a card in the deck that I wasn't able to find, and as a result, it cost me the finals. But we'll talk about that card when we get there. So, quick little profile. So I played triple Anubis, the Last Judge. This card basically has a couple effects. You can pitch it from the hand to the graveyard to add the man with the mark from your deck to your hand. And this card can summon itself whenever I have 3 or more cards in my graveyard with different names that are either Temple of the Kings and or traps. Excuse me. It basically gives you like an infinite grind game, putting back all your traps. So it's like pretty strong. And yeah, and this card also says that if a spell and trap card is card you control is destroyed by card effect, you can target one card your opponent controls and then destroys it. So pretty good. So you play 3 of this because it's like one of your main starters, and then you play 3 Man with the Moon, or I guess Man with the Mark. So yeah, what Man with the Mark does is it allows you to, when you normal summon or special it, you can take Temple of the Kings or a spell and trap that mentions it and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So this card is pretty strong. And oh, the other thing with Anubis is that it sends from the hand to the graveyard, so it triggers Neckguard Quip, and that's a synergy with Fiendsmith. So you go to like Fiendsmith line, then you activate Anubis, and then Anubis searches the Man with the Mark, and then you get a draw. So but yeah, this card also has another crazy effect, which says that while you control Temple of the Kings and this card and Apophis monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and the Temple of the Kings that you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. So just, yeah, pretty good. So these are like your main starters. And then you have the other starters, which are going to be the 3 Temple of the Kings. Technically 4 with Terraforming. This is called Treasure of the Kings, I guess. It's like the retrain. What this card allows you to do, or what this engine allows you to do, is it's a crazy field spell. Basically, it says when you activate it, the Treasures of the King, you can set an Apophis trap from your deck. And usually the Apophis traps are basically an Omnigate. They're basically Desirees. And this card is considered Temple of the Kings while it's in the field zone. And if you have 2 more set cards on your grave, on your field, or a trap in your grave, you can add a monster that mentions Temple of the Kings from your deck to your hand. And I'll show you guys the combo at the end as well. And then obviously Terraforming to get more copies of this. So 10 1-card starters. And then we played 1 Merciless Scorpion of Circuit because you can add it off of Treasures of the Kings. This card basically can summon itself if you control Temple of the Kings by banishing a level 10 or higher monster from your hand or deck. And you can only special summon this card once per turn this way. But the other effect is that during your main phase, you can add Temple of the Kings, like the original one, or the treasure, or a card that mentions it. And if this card attacks at the start of the damage step, it destroys the monster it attacks, and it gains attack equal to half of the monster original attack. So, and then you play Treasure of the Kings or Temple of the Kings, the original one, because this card allows you to basically activate a trap to turn is set, and it's part of like the mainline combo. So I'll show you guys that at the end. And then now for some of the traps, I play 2 Apophis the Serpent. This card basically says you special summon this as a normal monster. It's 1600 attack, 1800 defense, and you summon itself, and then you can send an Apophis trap from the deck, and that trap card can be activated the turn it's set. And then when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add an Abandonment of Apophis, which is like the original one, but it's honestly a brick. You don't really need it. But yeah, this card basically sets Apophis the Swamp Deity, and the Swamp Deity basically says you summon this card, and based on a number of continuous, or based on a number of other continuous traps you control, you can negate that many cards your opponent controls. So yeah, it's pretty strong. See, and then excuse me, beginning to cough since I've been back. And then I play a Verdict of Anubis. This should be the Statue of Anguish pattern, but I couldn't find that card because it's just like a random 2016 card. But I played this card instead. Mana of the Mark searches, and basically it's a counter trap that says when your opponent activates a spell and trap card while you control 3 or more other spell or trap cards, you negate the activation, and then you destroy that card. And then if you control Temple of the Kings, you basically Raigeki all of your opponent's monsters, and then burn them for the total original attack of those destroyed monsters, or half of it. So it's a searchable counter trap that man with the mark can basically add. So yeah, that's it. But you should play the Anguish pattern. I don't have it. Anguish pattern basically says you summon itself, and every time you special summon a monster from the spawn trap card zone, you can target one card your opponent control and destroy it. So, and it's all once per turn. So yeah, that's it for the engine, the I guess the Anubis engine, the Apophis engine. Then for the Fiendsmith engine, you have 3 Engraver, obviously, 2 Tracked, Lurie, Lacrima, and then 1 Fiendsmith Paradise. So pretty standard ratios for Fiendsmith. How much are Anguish patterns right now? But they're probably expensive. But yeah, this is all you need at the moment. And the rest are all going to be non-engine. So the deck has a lot of room to fit non-engine. So that's a good thing. You have Ash, Fuaros. The deck can play Purge because you play Lights and Earth. Impermanence is really good alongside Purge because it puts a trap card in your graveyard, which allows you to trigger Treasures of the King to add immediately the turn you play it. 3 Effect Veiler. Just like good generic hand traps. And then I play 2 Talents and Call by the Grave first. So I'm going first non-engine as well. So 18 non-engine's pretty good for like a rogue strategy. Yeah. I think the list is 43 cards the way it is, I think. I have to double check, but I think it's 43 cards. I could be wrong. Okay, now for yeah, I'm only maining the counter trap because I don't have pattern, but I would play pattern otherwise. Now for the side, and I'll show the extra deck after. So I play 1 Dimensional Barrier and a 1 Sanctum for the Thrust package. I like Thrust because going I main deck the Talents, so it's really good with Talents. And then I also play 2 Storm and a Harpy Feather Duster just to like complement the Thrust. Yeah, these cards I think are just really good. If you can out their back row, then you can play through their board, and it helps a lot, obviously. So I don't play the Heavenly combo, but that is something you can play in the pure version. I then play, of course, you have to play Triple Lancia for the Malice players. Put it over here. And then I play 2 Meows, more for Malice Hate, and then 2 Pirellia, just for like Ryziel. So you already have 3 Ferraros in the main, so I just go up to 5 Molchomis depending on the matchup, pretty much. Okay. And then now for the extra deck. The extra deck is really difficult to make, but I played 2 Divine Serpent Apophis. So the way this works is you can basically cheat it out or special summon it by attributing 2 Apophis monsters, and its effect is not once per turn. It's once per turn per copy. It's soft, but basically what it allows you to do is it allows you to target up to 3 Apophis traps with different name in the graveyard and then set them back. And then if a trap card is activated, you can target 1 card your opponent controls to destroy it. So just really good card. So you play 2 because it's not once per turn. And then for some generic links, I play Link Spider because the traps are normal monsters. So you need to turn them into effect monsters for either SP or for Silhouette Rabbit. Guys, let me know if you think the QCR or the ulti looks better. I have both, but let me know. Then you play the Moon, obviously, to go into Requiem. And then Requiem for Sequence, Agnum Day. And then for some of the fusions, obviously you play the Necro Equip. And then I also play Duke of Demise. The reason why I play Duke of Demise is because it's a level 6. It gives you an additional normal summon. So if you start Lurie or Lacrima, you can go through Duke of Demise, give you an extra normal summon, and then normal summon Man with the Mark. And then the other thing too you need to know is that Duke of Demise in the graveyard is really good follow-up because you can banish it and add a level 4 or higher Fiend to your hand. And the card you can add is this Anubis, the Last Judge, because it's a Fiend, so you get it back from the graveyard back to your hand for follow-up. So yeah, and then we have Desiree, obviously, and then you play some of like the outs to Detonator, which is gonna be like the Typhon and the Chaos Angel. And then last card I play is just Caesar, just to play around Nib. So, but I'm gonna show you guys like some of the combos now, I guess. So, in like the 1 card combo. let's say I open the man with the mark, right? Or Anubis, either or. So let's say you go Anubis effect. You're going to send it to the graveyard. You're going to add the man with the mark. You're going to normal summon man with the mark. And then use its effect to add the treasures of the king. The treasure of the king is then going to activate to pretty much set an Apophis trap from the deck. So let's see if I can grab. We're going to set like the serpent. You need one other settable card in your hand to trigger the second effect of treasure. So let's just assume we have like a dead talents or something. We're then going to activate the treasures of the king to add a monster that mentions Temple of the King from your deck to your hand. This is where you're going to add the scorpion. You're going to summon the scorpion because you control Temple of the King to then by banishing an Anubis from your deck. Okay, so that's how it summons itself. Then you're going to activate the Merciless, the Scorpion of Circuit, and you're going to add the original Temple of the Kings from your deck to your hand. And then you're going to be able to pretty much activate it. So you can activate traps now to turn their set, like one of them at least. So so in order to like not lose the nib, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these two and then convert them into a moon. And then use moon to go into Requiem. And so this is only 4 summons. So when you activate Requiem effect, you're going to guarantee get access to Lacrima so you don't lose the Nibiru. So now you get Lacrima. Lacrima effect is going to trigger. That's going to dump Engraver, right? So now you get access to the Engraver. Here, I'm going to use the effect of Requiem to equip to the Lacrima. And then use these two to make Necro equip. And then you can use the effect of Engraver to shuffle back Moon to bring yourself back, right? And at this point, they pretty much have to nib you here. If they don't, you can overlay these two for the Caesar. And then another thing you could do is, because you have Temple of the Kings up, you can actually flip up the Apophis, the summon itself, and then set a the other I guess Apophis straight from the deck. The Serpent allows you to activate the deity right away, and then we're going to use these two to make the Divine Serpent, and then this card basically targets these two to put them back. And yeah, and basically this is really broken because on your opponent's turn you have Apophis to summon itself, triggering this to pop a card, and then that will set up another deity. But these cards are not once per turn, so these are 2 negates. So you can summon both of these and then have 2 negates, have 2 negates here, and then you also have Lacrima and Graveyard as well for Requiem. So has a lot of interaction, and it's, yeah, pretty much like a 1-card combo, and it's pretty safe into like nib the entire way through as well. So because they have to nib you before this, but like I said, if they nib you, it's like really good because you get a nib token, and the nib token you can make Link Spider. You can use Link Spider plus the Apophis Divine Serpent to make a Silhouette Rabbit. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much the combo, guys. So I think it's pretty good. So that's why I have the Fiendsmith cards in, because you convert the extra bodies into the actual value, and the Fiendsmith cards are good grind game cards. The thing with the Anubis too is that this card basically gives you an infinite grind because it can keep shuffling back your traps, so you have like a really good grind game. And then the Treasures of the Kings, being able to add a monster that mentions some of the kings every turn, it's actually an ignition effect, so you can actually use it to add a card every single turn basically. So it's pretty strong. But overall, I think the deck is pretty good. I went 4-1 with it yesterday at locals, and I think I would have done better if I had the statue as well, the Statue of Anguish pattern. I just didn't have it with me, or else I would have played it.